Welcome to yet another edition of Wordy Screencast, where today you are going to learn to annotate. Why? So you can make connections with and understand difficult text. When sometimes we read stuff, we're like, I don't know what that said. Or kind of trying to think, why is this important? Annotating can help us. Know you've got it when you can. Define annotation. Explain to someone how and why we annotate. That's really the focus of this video. And then in class, we will annotate text, such as the most dangerous game. Let's get into it. Let's do it. So the whole thing is we talked about annotating briefly to this point. Now, how do we make our page look like this? What do? Do we just highlight everything? Absolutely not. All right. Again, we've looked at these examples and talked about them. So here are your guide notes, your annotation guide portion. Number one, you're going to fill in the underlined words. Define words and slang. If something you don't know it, use context clues. Look it up. Figure out what it means. Or you may miss the point of what's being written. Make the words real with examples from your experiences. Maybe you define it, give an example of what it is. So you know, all right, this is what it is. Think about why the author used that word. Number two, make connections with other parts of the story or text. You can draw arrows back to other direct quotes, put other direct quotes in the margin, but start to connect one part of the story with the other. That'll definitely help us see how the story progresses, help us understand the plot, theme, character changes. Number three, make connections to other texts you have read or seen. Things such as movies, comic books and graphic novels, any news events, other books, stories, plays, poems, even songs. Our plan is to annotate a song later in class today, we shall see. Number four, draw a picture. So if you are reading something and there's a visual that you're getting, you can picture what's happening. You can summarize it, you can draw a picture to help you remember it. Either or. So pictures are fine. Rewrite, paraphrase, summarize a difficult passage. This is one I'm going to really focus on. When we read something, we're like, I don't know what that meant. Go back, try to summarize sentence by sentence if we need to, paragraph by paragraph. If we just read something straight through and it's kind of difficult for us to understand without breaking it down, we're not going to understand it. So break it down, summarize what happened before you go to the next part. That will help a lot of us. Describe a new perspective. Maybe you've learned something from what you've read. Offer your own analysis, interpretation. Hey, here's what I think this means. Okay. You're making connections with the text. This is what I'm thinking as I read this. You might point out literary techniques, similes, metaphors that help make comparisons because that may help us understand what's happening. All right, so those are some of the things you may want to underline, highlight, note in the margins. Now, how do we make connections with what we read? And this is one of the main reasons we annotate. Emotional connections. How's this making me feel? What do I feel about this? Are there any past experiences? And you're starting to see where these connect to the annotation guide we just did. You know, our life experiences matter. It will help us understand what we read. We have background knowledge. Maybe we've learned something new. Changes our mind about something. New perspective mentioned and noted the annotation guide. See things through somebody else's perspective, somebody else's point of view. So really, if we're doing these things and we're noting them, it is going to help us understand the text. All right, our next thing will be to practice annotating. So other than that, Wordy is out of here.